Oh, yeah, we got a couple days until Halloween. The motherfucking middle class hoes are going to give you good movies, shitty movies, somewhere in between movies. Something.
I don't even know what we're doing, do we?
The Leprechaun is coming up. Murray, you said you had something for us. That was a good debate point. What was it? Was it putting your kid to sleep tonight?
Oh, my God. I don't even want to. All right, I don't want to talk about the kid. He's probably got scratched cornea. I probably have to go to a fucking doctor. Probably have to use more of my fucking insurance. It's fucking racking up like a high score to pinball machine right now. He scratched his cornea, got a leaf in his eye.
You meeting the deductible? Is that what I'm getting here? I hate to say that word.
I'm never meeting the deductible. The deductible won't be met. It takes $6,000 for me to meet it. It takes $13,000 for the family to meet it. It's fucking stupid. I might as well not even have it. What's the goddamn point? I'm not gonna use $13,000 unless I get hit in the face by an ice skate at a hockey game that I'm never going to. It'll make it even more impossible to fucking make that fucking deductible up.
See, but we had our open enrollment. It ended like 2 days ago. And basically, I mean, I'm on the just get out of jail free thing. You know, no kids, no spouse. Is yours basically? I don't want to be a financial burden to my family in case a dump truck runs over my ankle. Is that kind of is that what I'm gathering?
That's it. And it's through the wife. The insurance that I'm getting ready to get in the year 2022 is going to cover everything. And it's going to it's government insurance. It's like the best government insurance you can have, but I don't have it right now. And they're getting ready to shove a fucking camera up my ass in 4 weeks. And if I could only hold out for another 5 weeks, it would be fully covered. But instead, they're putting a camera in my ass and then yanking $3,000 out of it. So, but if I could wait 5 weeks, it would take nothing out of it.
And you're not even going to come. You're not even going to get the prostate just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll get some good drugs, and that's the only thing that really keeps me hanging on to hope. Is just some clever, good drugs that might kill me. And by the way, if I end up in a coma, I want you guys to like memorialize me in some way, and the line rectum damn near killed him has got to be in there.
Hey man, yeah, I lined that up a few weeks ago. I haven't. Yeah, Alan will do it in his most sarcastic, I love Murr voice. Rectum.
Yeah, it'll be good. I actually have been practicing. Just
good.
Make sure we really nail it.
Yeah. Or is it just a daydream that you're trying to bring to fruition?
No, man. I hope it is all clear, and they accidentally get you off too by prostate. I hope that you get the best experience you could possibly have.
Yeah, thank you.
And just kind of fucking ooze out on the table, and then fucking all clear, bud. Fucking good to go. How could you honestly complain about it?
By the way, Wes, I hadn't explained all of this stuff to your brother yet, and I was sending him text messages the other night, and I was telling him how I've been taking my pills the hard way, and I sent him a picture of Rodney Dangerfield with it, dancing it in Caddyshack.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he racked it well. So, what was this debate point that you had? By the way, middle class hoes, everyone, Murr, Alan, and Foxman.
Well, it kind of pales in comparison to a camera up your ass, but I eat a banana every day and an apple every day on the way to work. I have no problem throwing the apple core out the window, but the banana peel, for some reason, seems to be a sticking point with people. Is throwing a banana peel out the window littering?
No more
in your guys' opinion?
No more. Yeah, no more than.
No, I don't think that either of them are. To be fair,
no, I think these people who debate
an apple, you can.
These people who debate the banana peel just played way too much Mario Kart. They think that there's going to be someone spin around in a circular.
Well, let me tell you something. Banana peels are slick as shit. I was walking down a sidewalk one day. I saw a banana peel. I purposefully stepped on it because I was just like, bullshit. I slid about 3.5 feet on my heel doing that. Ooh, that fucking Frozen guy, arms out. I didn't fall, thank God, because I'm agile. But the layman would have been on their face. But but the apple core I can get a good chuck on. So as I'm driving down the road, it's like a rock. You can wing it pretty far. But a banana peel, it ain't going far. It's going edge of the road, maybe the ditch if you're lucky. And I asked somebody, what is your issue with banana peels? And they said, well, what if a raccoon or a small dog or a cat decides to go chew on it? Then they're going to get hit by a car, and you've just drug them out like a piece of bait. Like, fuck you. Is it not the circle of life? Do they deserve to die? They decide to cross the street to eat a fucking piece of trash.
I think it's widely known that animals who, like, of any kind, who happen to wander into human territory and get killed by humans, whether accidentally or on purpose, are not the fittest of their kind. So, I mean, nature, baby. It's all nature. That banana peel is nature.
I was expecting Alan to like debate me on this point. Is kind of why I was like, you know what? Alan's gonna say that I'm fucking littering when I throw this thing out the fucking window. But I do know that there is a little bit of shame attached to it, because if I am gonna throw the banana peel out the window, I do wait until there is nobody behind me, or like there's a car. Like as we go around the turn, I'm like, all right, I can't see his headlights. Ugh. And then I just like pretend like nothing happens. Like they're gonna somehow pull me over and reprimand me in some capacity.
Yeah. I would love to debate you because I love doing it, but no, I got nothing for you on this one. It's fucking fruit, man. How many apples just fall in the wild?
Most of them, I would assume.
Boom, done. That's it. That's it. What happens again? They feed the apple tree.
Excuse me. I have to suspect that your trajectory of banana peels also, like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily detract from pedestrians who are eating apples, who throw those banana peels, curbside. So what do you tell those people? No, wait till you get to a trash can. They're biodegradable.
Yeah.
They're biodegradable.
That's my philosophy. Is I'm just throwing nature back to nature. This nature's refuge. If I wasn't here throwing it to the ground, nature, like Alan said, would be throwing it to the ground. This is a shitty point. I didn't expect to be so bad when I made it immediately that I'm regretting right now. Yeah. But
here's a bigger thing. I got one for you. So, okay. I mean, obviously, you can't throw a banana peel very far, like you said, aerodynamically not sound.
And hold on, Alan,
so I have a strategy for this, though. I have a strategy.
Real quick. When you say you, that's the royal you, but you also have to account for Purr can't throw for shit. So, I mean, it's even less than the normal man. Just it's even worse.
Listen, let me tell you something. My apple core, okay? There's a road. And now this is where I've become a dick about it. There's a specific spot where I finished the apple and I'm like, oh, here comes that mailbox. And I've hit the mailbox 2 times with the apple core as I'm driving like 35 down the road.
It's not bad. 2 times though, and you do this every day?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're 2 for like 200.
I'd say over like a month period.
You're batting well below the
Mendoza line. I'm throwing it out my
line.
passenger window. I'm throwing it out the passenger window. It's not like it's an easy task.
Is it a standard mailbox?
Yeah, standard size mailbox.
Aluminum fucking flag thingy.
Like, yeah, it sits off the road a little bit too. It's down a ditch. It's a ways away.
I don't know. Repetition.
I'd say it's a good 15 foot.
It's
I
like
think I hit it way more times than that, but that's just me.
So Alan, you were saying, sorry.
Either way, what would you? How do you think you could actually throw a banana peel with some distance? Like, because a big banana is fairly weighty, so the peel is weighty. It's spread out fucking weird. So I'll tell you how I do mine. I will roll it up. From the base piece, like I'll kind of lay them all flat on each other, roll it up so it's just a big fucking roll, and then huck that bitch.
Oh no, I just grab it by
open eventually, but yeah. You get it.
I grab it like a used condom, and I just let it dangle, and then I kind of like do a nice little flippy flop. But like I'm able to throw it. I'm able to throw it like tip first, so that it gets out the window, and then you just see it like flop like a fucking. Yeah.
That makes some sense. You're using its weight. Yeah, I get that. That makes some sense.
And I'm driving like 50 miles an hour when I'm doing it. So I'm not going to take the time to make like 3 perfect flat slats of banana peel slice and roll into
I think
a
you're
ball.
really making a big deal of how much concentration driving takes. Okay?
Yeah, and he also just got done
It's
missing.
not variable.
He also got done missing the mailbox with the apple core for the 400th time in a row. Do you think he's really going to take the time to roll up the banana peel and chuck that out? He's probably God.
Doing a lot of things when I'm throwing this apple core. Okay, it's right off of a turn, and I'm driving. It's down a hill. It's about 15 feet up the road. I'm not specifically trying to hit it. I'm just like, all right, there comes that mailbox. Let's just woo. So I'm not. Fuck you.
If if you have an O'Doyle situation on the road that you throw a fucking banana peel on, you're gonna feel terrible about it. That's all I'm saying.
Just watch
No,
out.
the O'Doyles deserve to die. There's nothing to feel terrible about.
Yeah, I mean okay, touche.
It could be a situation like in Mario Kart where you lay a strategic banana peel and then go around and you yourself then hits it on the next lap.
That's a good point.
Like the next day, like, damn it. What? Damn it. That was supposed to be for someone
And
else.
there are very few things I think that conjure up that feeling of hitting your own banana peel on lap 2. Like it is, oh god, it is fucking life changing.
Especially when you lay it right in front of like a speed boost or right in front of like a mystery box, and you're coming around that turn like, oh shit, here I need this, boom, and then you end up in the fucking wall.
Yeah,
God,
brutal.
Yeah. And then someone immediately hits you with a lightning bolt.
Yeah,
And then you're small.
Absolutely, there is no shot that you don't get hit with a turtle shell within 10 seconds of recovering from your banana peel. Like,
Right.
that's how it works.
have you guys played the latest one? Because there's a new shell. There's a blue shell, and it only hits the person in first place.
Do tell. So can it navigate all the roads and the twisty turns and stuff?
It does everything. It's just straight. It's a heat seeker for first place. And the only thing that I've found that works is if you got somebody and you're in first and you can see them behind you, then you slow down and you try to let them take over right before the blue shell gets there, and then takes them out and you take over first again. But you got to fucking play it super strategic, man. It's almost a cheat code, really. And the person in last place always gets one, like as soon as they get on the last lap. It's just inevitable. They're going to get one.
That's like old Ryan, who's been on the show before. He had this theory of what he called the comeback chip. You guys familiar with this? So it took place. We were playing NBA Jams, and I don't think it was the first one. I think it was the second one, which is pretty similar to the first. All arcadey, 2-on-2. You pick your NBA team. You get your selection of like 4 to 5 players, and he was blowing out our buddy Nick, and then decided he just kept jacking up 3-pointers and was missing, and was saying, "See, it's the comeback chip. I'm up by so many points that they won't let me make buckets." And I was like, "Well, yeah, if you're jacking up 3-pointers like that, yeah, I guess the game does have an algorithm that it wants you, but there's no special chip that they jam into the back of that game soul, like that gaming console. That's like, yep, we gotta raise and lower the bar of the competitive balance." And that's where I thought it was really funny, the comeback chip.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm not one for Ryan's bullshit all the time.
Yeah, sure.
I don't have a lot of patience for it. But this is one area where I 100% agree with him. There is maybe it's an algorithm, okay? Maybe he wasn't thinking that far into the logistics of computing back in the day. But he is 100% right that at some point, there's one game, I think it might even be Mario Kart, where no matter how fast your kart goes, if you're so far ahead, you won't reach full speed. It gives everybody else a chance to catch up. Or the person in last place is like twice as fast when they accelerate.
Okay. If you want to make a claim that there is an algorithm, that's fine. I just don't think you get to at least circa 2000 or it's like 1999 get to like incorrectly label something called the comeback chip just because that suits your narrative. And he could have won if he just drove to the hole. If he dunked it, he would have won that game. He couldn't help himself. He wanted to keep shooting threes in order to prove to us that there was a quote-unquote comeback chip.
And you know what? And I feel like he might have been successful. Maybe there was an actual chip that was only activated when somebody was fucking burning the wheels off of somebody else.
Oh, it lights up?
And then it finally was like and starts blinking. Like,
Alan's a gamer. Alan just shook his head. I want to hear his take on this. The comeback chip. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely not just a chip. Like I mean, even back then, it sounds preposterous. Like there's a whole other piece of hardware solely to not let you make 3-pointers with fucking like Muggsy Bogues. Like, no, come on, man. Like, yes, there absolutely was an algorithm that caused that so that you couldn't just run away with it and fucking be a dick about it. But no chip. Definitely no chip.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt on this. only because I agree with you that there probably wasn't a physical piece of hardware installed in the game called comeback chip. But I get what he means, and you guys are dicks, and you're being dicks about it.
No,
you know what he means.
I was a dick then. I'm a dick now, and actually, as a matter of fact, when we for a couple seasons, we did play fantasy basketball. That was my first fantasy basketball team name. The comeback chip, just to grind some gears.
I'm sure he loved that.
I'm back on your team, Wes. I do appreciate that. By the way, I remember playing your brother at a round of Tiger Woods golf, and we were like both like, I don't know, 15 under par, and we got to a playoff round, and it was a par 3, and you know, he birdied. And it was one of the 3 times I hit a hole in one on that game. And he was like, "You're not gonna fucking do it." And it's boom, 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 boom. The heartbeat. You can. It's vibrating so hard in the controller, like you can hear it make noise, and it fucking goes in. And then I think he smashed one of my controllers into the side of the bed and then walked off in disgust.
Yeah, Tiger Woods, great game, phenomenal. It just my one criticism of that game was that there should have been no control after you hit it. There has to all the spin and all the stuff has to be at pre-hit. After that, it's out of your hands. But man, yeah, I mean, the game was the game. You could sit there and fucking put backspin on it, put front spin on it, do all the stuff you needed to do to create everything. Beautiful, great game.
We played that game so much that I saw the greens like the Matrix. Like I could read them. I knew exactly like what a foot was. I knew what an inch was. I mean, down to like just the blade of grass. I could putt from anywhere on the green and make it after we'd played it for like a year straight.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff. Well, middle class holes, everyone, Murr, Allen, Fox, man. So yeah, folks, we appreciate the feedback, everyone. We appreciate feedback. We sent out a couple flyers. We wanted to know your favorite scary movies or shitty scary movies or movies that just made you cringe as a child. And we did, Murr, we got some feedback. I got some feedback via message. Go ahead.
We got one like literally right into recording. I'm just so dumb right now with how to navigate our social media platforms that I'm legitimately I've got a notification on my phone, like, but I just closed it out because I don't know. Okay, when it comes up, all right, this is going to be a little inside baseball for everybody. And by the way, glorious outfit worn by Foxman himself right there, Jimmy Dugan.
Kiss
from
my
the
ass.
What was it? The
League of Their Own. Kiss my ass.
I know, but what?
Kiss my ass. League of Their Own.
I know. What's the team name though?
The
I
Rockford
can't remember.
Peaches.
The
Rockford Peaches. When I go to Business Suite, I don't know how to find the message that was legitimately sent to me that I clicked the notification to read. I don't know how to find it.
I don't know. That Business Suite's crazy, bro. I don't fuck with that shit. That shit's wild, man, because it's very specific to our account, and like, I don't know.
Here we go. I got it. All right. It comes from Kevin. You want me to read it now, or would you like to wait till we get into the actual bit?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's let this kick it off. So this is what we're going to do for in lieu of our Halloween Scare the Booze Into You special. We're going to discuss Halloween movies, good ones, bad ones, ones that made us shit ourselves as children, or things that just like downright baffle the minds of Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb in general. So we have one. I have a few I have a few of my own that I got from text messages. That's because I bug the shit out of people. But this is coming from tickleourtummies@gmail.com. Murr, take it away.
Actually, it's coming from our Facebook page. This is
good. This is good because I see this, Murray. Before you read it, I like that this is going to start off with a little bit of a debate.
Okay, well, good, because I was once again confused about a list. So my movies are going to be a little bizarre in comparison to what I believe you guys have written down.
It's all right.
Because I just put down movies that scare me, not necessarily scary or Halloween esque movies. But this comes from Kevin. He sent it to us on Facebook. He says, I know it's not a horror movie, but the original Alien scared the shit out of me. And yes, I agree that Alien and Aliens are both terrifying movies. But Alien, I will say that though it's a sci-fi movie, I still consider it a horror movie. And if you really just replace the alien in Alien with Michael Myers, it's the same film.
That's ridiculous.
Should I be doing something?
Whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, you should be shutting the fuck up, bitch.
Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. I was looking at a movie thing, and E! Online decided to grace us with its presence.
Well,
Thank you, E! Online.
I was going to add this.
You just keep both?
All right. Alien, I don't know, sci-fi. And if you airlift a genetically modified being with Michael Myers and just romping around the spaceship, chasing down the likes of Sigourney Weaver, to Tom Skerritt, and a few other folks. No, that's ridiculous. But
okay, what about Jason in space? What about when they went into space and Jason followed them into space somehow? Does that now become a sci-fi movie because it's in space?
That is when the franchise just has no other outlets. Like we need to keep this going. We need to keep this fresh.
The money grab, I believe, is what it's called.
Yeah, the same works for I think Pinhead. They have to make another movie every 3 years in order to continue the gross rights for it, which is why they've created there's been 17, 18 Pinheads. I don't know if the same applies to Michael Myers, but no, Jason in Space, ridiculous. Listen, I don't want to take away from Alien and Aliens. Great movies, in my opinion. Top, one of them is at least top 50. Both of them are top 75-ish. Sci-fi, not scary movies. They're scary.
They're still scary.
Yeah.
I think that's where I missed the, I misread the memo
it's
on
not
some
a
of
scary
these.
movie, but it is scary. Is that the terminology we're going? Is that how we're breaking this down?
Listen, it's a sliding scale. It's based on perception. I'm not going to sit here and knock someone and be like, hell no, not delete that fucking post. No way. The Alien is tremendously scary.
Ridiculous. Yeah, no, I agree. I like Alien. I think that it also got me as a child. So I agree with Kevin on this one. Fuck Wes and his sci-fi hatred. It's fine.
Okay. Let me ask you this though. The movies that are scary that you want to get to, are they based on the time of year you would watch them? Because obviously I think Alien would be a movie you could watch year round and it's still scary. Whereas I feel like maybe the parameters you're setting are like, I don't know, Friday the 13th, we'll stay with that, is a Halloween-centric movie, so you would only watch it in like the fall.
See, I think that would be horror, right? So it's called horror. That's got its own genre. Are we is that what you mean, Wes? Like, do you mean like horror movie, not just scary?
Well, no, I'm okay. I mean, I'd like to think that a few of mine on my top list of my favorites you could watch year round. It's not Halloween centric. And the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, those don't crack my top 5. They're scary. They were, especially the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, no, not Nightmare on Elm Street. Excuse me, Friday the 13th, because Jason wasn't involved in it. It was his mom. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
They
let me
cut her
let me
head
let me break this down for you. So I was asking a few people after our kickball game tonight, and the team captain. I said, "What?" He was trying to think of a few ones, and I said, "Give me a movie that was stupid, that is scary, that scared you as a child." And he came up with Ernest Scared Stupid. He said all the boogers and snot scared him, and I don't. This here, I mean, a 17 on Rotten Tomatoes. Anything from the Jim Varney experience might.
I mean, I'll always give it a watch.
It calls it a horror film, American comedy horror, directed by John R. Cherry III, starring Jim Varney and Eartha Kitt. Don't remember her. Kind of looks like a Pam Grier lookalike. Do you guys remember her?
I remember Eartha Kitt. I don't remember why she was famous, but I think she was a beauty of the day, if you will.
I think that's right. I think this is like she was an actress, comedian, dancer, singer, known for her singing style in the 50s. So I think in 1993 they were like, "Hey, look, we're gonna get you in this Ernest P. World movie."
Well, at the time, the Ernest movies were grossing fucking way more than they were costing to produce. I mean, when an Ernest movie costs maybe $4 million to make, and somehow would gross $30 million at the box office. So they just kept banging them out.
Whack ass shit.
Ernest went a lot of places, man.
Ernest Scared Stupid because of the boogers and the snot. He didn't like it as a child. Fair enough. That's fine. All right. So what do we got? Who wants to start, or should I go? I have a couple other user or listener submissions.
Well,
I think you.
Go ahead.
I think Wes should start so we know what the fuck he's talking about.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. That was my initial reaction earlier.
So I have a top three, but I have a couple honorable mentions, and I'll start with creepy fucking. This is not Halloween centric or holiday or seasonal centric. You can watch this year round. Get Out, recent, very fucking creepy. The racially driven stuff, and just the fact that family, whew, man, what they did to manipulate these people, get some beautiful white women, get them back at the place. Ugh.
See, I still haven't seen that.
You should check it out. It's pretty good.
No, I know. I'm sure
you should get out and see it. Yuck, 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 yuck.
It's been hard to see those peripheral movies ever since the kid was born. So the only movies we prioritize in the last 7 years have been Marvel films. That's the only ones we've seen.
That's fair.
So anything pre 2014, any horror flicks I have not seen yet.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. I mean, Alan, you've seen Get Out.
Yeah, I've seen Get Out. That's pretty creepy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that it lands so super high for me, but I'm like, I think stylistically we just might be different, which is fine. Okay. I get the suspense and the creepiness of it. I'm more of a darkness or apocalyptic kind of freak out for me. That's the kind of shit that creeps me out. Okay. But I will say, let me pause before we go deep down the rabbit hole. So on as far as childhood thing, like Kevin brought up with Alien, things that freak me out, Child's Play, believe it or not, fucking Chucky. I was a wee lad. My parents, I bought me a doll that was very similar to Chucky, and it was just a fucking no-go. That thing equated to that thing, and nope, it had to stay in a closet behind stuff. I knew it was in the house though. I was acutely aware. But yeah, that shit fucked me up as a child. I probably should not have been watching that film. Now that I think about it,
you should have burned it. Along with some other stuff. So Child's Play is up on your list?
Child's Play is very high on my list. I still I haven't watched any of the new ones just because I think I'm still scarred. I'm sure I'll be fine. But
okay.
It's one of those things where I see them, I see there's I think a new one coming out now, or it is out. And I was like, I'm not going to watch that. I'm going to hard pass Hulu or whoever's promoting that.
There was one later on with Jennifer. I think it's Bride of Chucky. With you get to see Jennifer Connelly's Jennifer Tilly's tatas.
Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah,
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna look that up on Bing later on tonight. See, my problem with a lot of the original horror flicks, and by original I mean like the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Streets and things like that, is they were right in the wheelhouse where they were designed to scare the piss out of people my age. Like, my brother's 5 years older than me, so he's like 10 getting into the horror genre, and I'm 5, right around that 1984 mark where all the VHS and beta stuff's coming out with it. And I'm like, I don't know that I've watched the original Nightmare on Elm Street all the way through. I mean, maybe I have in bits and pieces, but no, that stuff like scarred me. So I'm not a fan of the horror genre. So, I mean, or maybe I was just a very vaginal child and things scared me. Because I'll give you an idea of stuff that I put on my list.
Okay.
And this will be one of the lamer ones. I wrote down E.T. Yes, E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Right.
Because E.T. just himself scared the shit out of me. Just some, like, brown, slimy, like, phallic alien thing. And I remember when I got older, I tried to watch E.T. again, because when I was a kid, my mom said I wouldn't look at the TV, that I was scared of E.T. And I remember this. And then I remember as I got older, I tried watching it again. And then there's the scene where I guess E.T.'s like dying from the Earth atmosphere, and he ends up in that fucking like creek bed, and the raccoons are like nibbling on his rib cage, and he's all gray, and he's fading. And then like the government agents come storming in and put him in that bubble room. Like, that scared the shit out of me. So that was another movie that I would put on my list that scared the piss out of me as a child, was E.T. It wasn't fun-loving. I mean, think about it. The bicycle scene through the moon is like one of the most iconic scenes of all time, and it's attached to childhood trauma for me.
That's fair.
E.T.
I don't think I like that one either.
Wow. You don't like that movie, or that movie ranks as like a scary movie to you?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that it's scary, but like I was even younger child, and yeah, that E.T. creeped me out as a little kid. But I was very little. I think child's play age, I was like, I could go either way. Like, I could have been like, oh, this is pretty cool. But I was like, no, I'm not feeling that. Okay. But we have others. We can continue.
Yeah. So this is coming from a listener. Sinister. I've never seen that. Are you guys familiar with the movie Sinister?
Negative.
No, I've never even heard of it.
Maybe we should do a little Sinister.
Yeah, I got a little IMDb going on here.
Yeah. Sinister came out in 2012. A supernatural horror film directed and co-written by Scott Derrickson. It's got Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke. So you know it's good.
Yeah, that's got to come off his 63% on Rotten Tomatoes. Got a relatively decent cast. Ugh. Okay, here it is. This is this type of shit. Showing you guys this screen share.
I love the snippets, the short descriptions.
So I can't screen share right now, but it's got it's like the I guess the main shitty character or whatever. Like, his mouth is molded together. That's creepy.
Yeah, that's never good. Here,
if they can't talk.
Crime writer Ellison Oswalt moves his family into a house where a horrific crime took place earlier, but his family doesn't know. He begins researching the crime in hopes of writing a book about it. Oswalt examines video footage that he finds in the house to help him in his research. Always a bad idea as well. But he soon discovers more than he bargained for. So yeah, sounds like your typical haunted house kind of thing. Never seen it. Can't tell you much about it.
There you go. Well, that was and thank you, Megan, for your write in. There's a couple. Okay, there's two movies I want to bring up. These aren't my top 5, but you talked about movies that freaked me out as a child. One, Fright Night, 1985, very shitty vampire movie. The other one, Kiefer Sutherland and a few others, Corey Haim, both of the Coreys, Jamie Gertz, who I had a crush on as a kid, The Lost Boys.
That was a creepy film.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie too. And like I said, It came out in 1987. I was 4 going on 5. And that's when I see a young Jamie Gertz, I kind of understand, like, okay, you like women. You're a women guy.
I see the reason that one didn't freak me out as kids. Maybe I was just getting older, and it was more of a movie than just like a shock horror film. And the monsters didn't win. You know what I mean? And that seems to be like the tail of the tape for a lot of the true horror movies. Is that the monsters win? Like they may have gone away, but there's always that reveal at the end that they ain't gone yet.
Gotcha.
There's only one person that lived. You know, there might be 10 friends, 9 die, 1 survives, but then the last shot is always, you know, the bad guy, like preparing for revenge. That always freaked me out. They're never gone.
Right. By the way, Fright Night got a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes. I was surprised by that. It's a shitty movie. So moving on my list, this is still keeping it relatively local in terms of time. The Conjuring. I thought that was a very well done movie into possession and possessiveness. Kind of a unseen, not in your face monster. It's more of a spiritual type thing, and then it comes full circle when it takes form of the woman's body who lives in that house. Ugh, creepy as fuck. And you have the what do you call those people who perform exorcisms?
They're called exorcists.
Yeah, right. I thought they were called something different in this movie.
There's a film about
a
priest.
No, these people are like professional exorcists because they did a couple movies. They did 2 movies after The Conjuring, right, Alan?
I thought there was like 72 actually. The first Conjuring was okay. I'll give you that one. It was a little creepy. That's the kind of shit I'm after, though. Like, that's that. I'm with you on that page. Like, that's the kind of shit that creeps me out. The more unseen. I'm not about like killers and monsters and shit. Like, the very stereotypical like black person at a movie theater comes out in me when I'm watching like a Halloween or something. I'm like, he's right behind you. Why are you crawling? Like that, I can't handle that kind of shit. Get up, run. So yeah, I'm with you on The Conjuring. The first Conjuring was good. They kind of ran off with it. And I get it's all based on the couple who did this shit like in real life. So I guess I should take it more seriously. But after the first one, I was kind of like, these are bad. So to each their own, I guess. Okay. I liked the style. I liked the first one. The rest of them, man.
That's kind of the realm I'm in. The first one, The Conjuring, was good. After that, I mean, it is what it is. You kind of ride the coattails of a successful film, but hey, it's Hollywood, baby. All right, Alan, what else you got?
So I'm with you. Like, it's funny you say that because I'm with you on The Exorcist. And I was a little bit. Well, I mean, I was probably in like high schoolish when I first saw that movie. I knew it was around before that, but and being a good Catholic schoolboy like I am, that anything that really kind of plays on that religious or spiritual aspect will usually reel me in. And so like back then, that movie freaked me the fuck out. Like that was a weird ass film. And then I just watched it with my wife like 2 days ago, who literally laughs out loud at like things like her head spinning or like her flopping up and down on the bed, like belly laughter, like not like ha, that's kind of funny. It looks like poop, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the graphics are bad. Ha. No, like fucking laughter. So it actually kind of killed the movie for me, but that's still shit. That shit really creeped me out back in the day, and I still like things like that. Still give me the heat.
I have The Exorcist on my list, and I was going to wait until it was my turn to bring up The Exorcist, but fuck it, it's on my it's a top 3 movie of horror movie of mine of all time. I had seen that movie a dozen times, and then if you recall, in the late 90s, early 2000s, they came out with a digitally remastered version, put it in the theaters, and they didn't tell people that Linda Blair was going to do the inverted crab walk down the steps while barfing. And I literally, in a theater of like 150 people, was like, "Whoa! Oh my God." I still get fucking chills thinking about it, man.
Yeah, that shit was kind of like a new mind fuck to something that had already mind fucked you like a decade earlier.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a good one. That's a classic.
Yeah, well, and the reason that one's so scary is because, like we said, whether you believe in religion or not and all that stuff, they brought all those realms together. Like, demonic possession, evil spirits, good spirits. You know, the whole There is something creepy when you bring religion into. It makes it real. Well, I don't know.
You have the father who's questioning his faith, and this demonic spirit who's feeding off of that. Like you're not holy anymore. Like damn you, I am. Yeah, and then he keeps getting sidebarred by everyone else who's going to lead the exorcism, and you know he's kind of playing second fiddle. At the end, he ends up being the hero, and then plunges to, I guess, what one could call his death or their death or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, that's a good point that you bring up, because he's like he's conflicted between faith and science, which is what I always found interesting, because he's like a fucking psychiatrist. He's a doctor, you know what I mean, and a priest. So that's rewatching it again. That was interesting that I didn't really catch that you mentioned that now. Is like he was really struggling with his faith because of science, and even went into that whole situation being like, oh, she just needs a mental institution. She needs to be evaluated, you know, over a long period of time, and blah blah blah. And the experienced priest was like, nah, dog, I know exactly which demon that is. We fought before.
Yeah.
And he was like, excuse me? And he was like, oh, yeah, this shit's real, bro. Let's go do this. And then you kind of see the light switch in his head. So, it's an interesting movie to watch again if you haven't seen it.
Like, if they get in that room, and I keep saying Linda Blair, and I don't remember her character's name, but she's like...
Reagan.
And she's like flopping around the bed, and then at one point kind of like gets half cocked on a 45-degree angle, and her throat swells up. It's like, oh! And he's like, holy shit, this ain't psychology. This is... Like,
she gets him alone and starts speaking Greek to him like his mother, who just passed away. And my man, that shit tears my man up. Like, it's a good fucking film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the early special effects where they were actually using, you know, real tangible things. That's what, even going back to those 80s, like, you know, just kind of like almost like skin flick horror films, they were using real prosthetics and things. And when something's real, it's real. You know, even though it looks tacky, you can make something in CGI look, you know, more realistic, but there's something in your brain that tells you that that's fake, that ain't there. But man, when a blood packet explodes inside some sort of like gelatin encased like skin thing, it's visceral. It's there. It does something to your brain, man. Fucks you up.
It turns out when she barfed, that's where Nickelodeon got the idea for Goop. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was Gak, but yeah.
Sorry.
Either way. Man, so shit, that's a good one. Like, I think we've been on some older ones. You brought up Get Out. I'll tell you, I had kind of split my list into like some older things that fucked me up when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like The Exorcist, Alien was on there, Child's Play, of course. But then like newer stuff that messed with me. So like, I don't know if have you guys ever seen The Descent? It's a movie about, I think they're like some young college girls that like go on a hike, end up in a cave system completely like shut off, but apparently like they run into some kind of like species of humanoid that lives in the dark and in the caves, and you spend basically the bulk of this movie in the dark and in like infrared watching these girls just get hunted throughout this cave. And I'm very like, the dark still fucks me up. Like the dark when I was a kid, I don't like, and that's, you know, that's natural. Fear is the unknown and the dark is the unknown. So like, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, the dark still really fucks me up. So that movie really trips me out. I don't be hiking for reasons like that. I think caves are fascinating on National Geographic, not in person. So yeah, I would check that out if you guys have never seen it.
I would say I've never seen that. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, made in 2005, but it does have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 women that are bingable later on, Murrah. So get a tab up.
Also true. They are mostly bingable young ladies.
Take a peek.
That get murdered. Lots of...
all right, Murrah.
Yeah, very, very interesting concept.
The Descent. I'll have to check that out. I have to add that to the thing. Box office, $57 million. Fucking hey, that's relatively decent. UK too. So All right, Mur, what do you got for us?
All right. Well, I'll stay in the more like traditional realm here, and this is one that me and my wife ended up enjoying. Was Paranormal Activity. You guys remember that one?
Of course, yeah.
That one was good because it came out right around the time that like The Office and Parks and Rec were doing the whole mockumentary thing, and the fact that you've got that like, it's almost like your eyes are the security camera's eyes, and you're catching some spooky shit. And it's not fully in frame, and it fucks with your mind. And it's before they went off the rails and made like 15 of them. So that first one was just like it was just genuine. It was raw, and I can't remember the entire like premise of the movie. I remember they moved into a house, some weird shit was going on, and of course, whenever you add like a baby to a movie. And there's like a demon in the house somewhere. And there was just all sorts of just weird special effects. I know I said like that the CGI usually throws you off, but in this situation, it would be like what? They'd walk through a room and there'd be like a broom like up against the wall, and then the camera would pan and all of a sudden the broom would just fall over and like, ooh, you just get that spooky chill that stuff like this has happened to me. Was it Toby? Was Toby in my house? But eventually they went on to make several others of these, and this one got an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, whereas Paranormal Activity 2 got a 58%, 4 got 23%. They just progressively got worse as the franchise went along. But no, I will say Paranormal Activity, great modern horror movie in my opinion. But another one that I'll tell you that freaked me out as a kid, we've talked about this movie before, I think in Good Bad Movies, but Nothing But Trouble, starring Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and Demi Moore. There was just something so bizarre about that movie. They end up in that podunk town. Dan Aykroyd's like that weird like judge with a dick nose, and he's got those like inbred children.
Bobo,
they're all like
Bobo and Little Devil.
Yeah.
And they're morbidly obese and sweaty and shirtless all the time. And there was just something about the ethos of that entire movie that just creeped me out, because I don't even know what it was supposed to be. Was it supposed to be a comedy? Was it supposed to be a horror movie? It has no genre. And I think that's why it scared me, is the confusion of what I was seeing.
I certainly think I think it's got to fall under more comedy than scary or horror movie. But Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, John Candy, and then a few others. Tupac, by the way, when Digital Underground, when they came and performed.
Yes.
For the wedding, 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. Jesus Christ! And listen, I love.
So you know it's good.
I love me some fucking Nothing But Trouble, but goddamn, it's comedy, and the dick nose and all that stuff. I think one of the greatest lines from that movie is that Digital Underground comes and performs for their wedding for John Candy and Chevy Chase. When John Candy, because he plays the fat daughter, but he also plays the cop, and him and Demi Moore are screaming at the band Digital Underground, including Tupac, like "Don't leave!" And Chris, who's the lead singer from Digital Underground who recently passed away?
What was his name?
Shock G,
Mr.
Shock G,
Mr. Humpty.
Yes.
Shock G. He goes, "That's all right, man. I was nervous on my wedding day too. Don't worry about it, bro." And just keeps walking out.
You wouldn't know fucking dialogue to that movie.
Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Coming in from another listener, Insidious. You guys familiar with that?
Yeah.
I think this is another one of those, like, first one good, Insidious 6, not fucking great. I don't know what it's about, but I think it's also some kind of spirit possession-y stuff.
A dark supernatural thriller made in, 2010, 66 on Rotten Tomatoes, starring, I can't get a good starring list here, Lynn the people I've never heard of. Oh, Rose Byrne. God, she's cute. Yeah, so anyway, I know nothing about it, but I figured I'd make note of it. There's got like a 1 in 3 chance that we've seen these movies that these people submit. So another
Exactly 1 in 3 chances, as a matter of fact.
right, but it gets you in the Hall of Fame if you do that in baseball. Another one was the Strangers.
Oh, I've never seen.
No idea.
No.
That's the thing with horror movies too, and I don't even know why Rotten Tomatoes like even rates them, because they're always rated poorly for the most part. Like, I mean, unless they're more than just a horror movie, they're not going to get a good rating because they're not built for that. They're not built to like create insight inside of your mind. They're just built to fuck you up psychologically.
Yeah, it's a good point. Liv Tyler is in this though. just so you know. 48% made in 2008, a psychological horror film written and directed by Brian Bertino. Damn it, man. I want to be able to comment. It looks like, oh, man. Hold on. See if I can. I can't screen share. Alan, you're fucking with me. If you see this, if you're able to see this photo, I think this gives you a good representation. You've seen this.
Oh, yeah. I have seen this, as a matter of fact. This is a pretty good film.
That's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, but this is one of those things that like doesn't do it for me, because I have seen this, as a matter of fact. I did not know that's what this was called. But this is another one of those like invade my house type things, and then you like get trapped under a fucking dresser because you knock it over in your haste. Like, it's like, come on, dude, get out of the house or kill somebody.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, that's I get it. I get the fear. It's just not for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna move on with I got a couple more. So this is the first movie I ever saw in the theater. This is an Alan Fox special. Okay. It was made, I believe, in like 1986, 1987. It's Jeff Goldblum in The Fly. It's a remake of the original. And a young 5-year-old me in the theater who's like, all right, movies. Hell yeah, it's my living room, but it's bigger and better. Holy hell. And had never seen the original in my life. Creeped me the fuck out. I don't necessarily know if it is a horror movie. Is a slasher thriller? No. It's more science fiction, but man, the slow decrepitation of Jeff Goldblum in that, when he's like putting his nose and his penis up on that, and is it Gina Davis or who's his love interest?
I think it's Gina Davis is the love interest.
She's coming back over and over again and hoping that he'd be able to like recover and. Ugh.
Yeah, I think I remember my dad taking me to see that, and there's a point where before he's like you said, taking his nose off, where he's crawling on the ceiling, but it's like later on, like where it's not just like a cool, like, look what I can do now. It's like the third or fourth time she's come by, and he's kind of lost a lot of his hair. Yeah. He's mangy, and his skin's starting to kind of like peel here and there.
And he barfs in front of her. Where he just straight up like barfs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, that it really started to mess me up inside my mind.
You guys just brought back another traumatizing movie from my childhood. Like, yeah, that shit's fucking wild. I might need to watch that in the next couple days.
Oh, it's great. It's great as an adult where you can like, compartmentalize your feelings and understand what you're looking at.
Horrified, yeah. I think that'd be fun.
Not just sheer terror to your brain.
Yeah. Jesus.
Alan, what do you got?
So I'll go more modern. So have you guys seen 28 Days Later?
Mm-hmm. Yes, great. It's a great movie.
So it's got a couple things that do it for me. Running zombies, no good. I'm not a fucking distance runner. I mean, I'm pretty quick in short distances, even as a big guy. But fucking nope, not running zombies. And then again, this is like the whole apocalyptic thing. And I guess maybe it's just his story. Maybe I don't wake up fucking 28 days later after fucking all hell breaks loose. You know what I mean? But in that fucking scenario, waking up alone in a hospital in the running zombie apocalypse in abandoned London, like, fucking crazy. That's some heavy shit. Like, zombie apocalypses are always crazy to me. But yeah, that one did it for me.
I think what messed me up most about that movie, and I was old enough to handle it, it was just a good thriller, was the fact that, okay, kind of like what Christopher Nolan did with like the Batman movies, like he made them plausible and real, because the zombie phenomenon was just, it was like a weaponized version of like rabies. That's what ends up, they end up curing it.
Yeah.
But they made it real. And considering we're still living inside of a pandemic damn near 2 years later, like it just goes to show you that like that it almost becomes scarier now thinking about it, that's an actual possibility for our future should shit go sideways.
As a total side note, like that kind of shit does. So when you brought up like Paranormal Activity, I thought of Quarantine, which was just a ripoff of it, like the year later with the handheld camera and shit like that. You know what I mean? And like the actual live footage. So yeah, fuck Outbreak. Like that shit does scare me because that shit, like you said, is plausible. Even though Outbreak's obviously not a fucking scary movie, but the concept is there. And that's what does it for me in 28 Days Later too. And I will say, as with any zombie apocalypse, you always run into the evil of humanity in those instances.
Right.
So like that's always the thing, is like you would like to think that in that situation you see other humans and you're like, fuck yeah, let's other human it. Let's do things together. Let's trade goods and services. But then other humans are like, nah, we're gonna rape and kill you. That's just kind of our thing now. So that always fucks you up.
That's kind of like with Walking Dead. It's I mean, yeah, it's humans against zombies, but it's also humans going fucking bananas against each other, and they can't fucking keep it together, which is creepy in and of itself. That's horrifying.
Well, that was one of the creators of like the comic book series was talking about that. Like, eventually it becomes not about zombies. Like the zombies are inconsequential to the story. It's like you're not even worried about the zombies anymore. You're worried about the evil and other people that are just lurking about. Like you don't have to worry about the zombies anymore because you know how to kill them. But how do you deal with the thinking people that are manipulating the world? Yeah. That's the fucked up part.
I think with 28 Days Later, because I watched that I was went on a hiatus in college where I was watching that like every other day with a roommate of mine who was into it. So they meet up with the father-daughter couple they're holding out at that their flat, waiting for it to rain, and then they bail out, and he gets blood in his eye. Remember, he's like looking up, and the fucking like a crow is pecking away at a zombie that's like elevated, and a piece of blood from that zombie's face falls into his eyeball and turns him, and he's like, "Sweetheart, stay back!" Oh God, that's creepy as fuck.
Yeah, like that. It's all wild. Like it's the isolation, and then like I said, like at the end, you ride them out. If you haven't seen it, sorry, you probably should have already. But if they ride all that out, they get to this military outpost, and then, like I said, humans going human. They were like, all right, let's rape the girls. Let's kill these two fuckers because they're not going to let us rape these girls. So. That's what we got to do, and it becomes then another brand of horror in and of itself.
That's right. They got to drug them first. Really. They had to drug them and put them in like old English dresses and stuff to doll them up. Yeah,
English military weirdos.
Murr, what do you have for us?
All right. Well, I'm going to do two. I'm going to do a real one, a bad one, and a real one. Okay, one that really messed me up psychologically as a kid was not a horror movie per se. I don't know. It's definitely more of a sci-fi movie, but RoboCop. RoboCop, when they kill him at the very beginning, there is so. By the way, I just it's actually on Netflix. The Movies That Made Us. The RoboCop's one of the movies that they feature on there, and that movie almost got a rated. It was almost rated X. Because of the scene where, what's his name? Martin.
RoboCop?
Murphy. Murphy. when they kill Murphy, there was so much blood and so much. It was so violent because they take him apart piece by piece. Like they blow his hand off first, they blow his legs off, and eventually the kill shot they actually shot from the front, and that's what gave it the rated X rating. And in the movie, they just simply flip the camera around to the back, and you see the back of his head explode. And just the violence of that, I think the dystopian future, and then at the end, too, when RoboCop, like, two things. When he stabs the guy in the neck with that, like, his little computer, like a 1984 USB drive that's in his wrist.
Yes.
And, like, blood just, like, squirts out. Like, they were literally just pumping it out one beat at a time. And that guy basically melts due to taking a bath in toxic waste. That fried my brain. But the real one that I'll say that really messed me up, have you guys ever seen The Mist? I believe it was
that's a Stephen King, Jones.
Thomas Jane, and they're in a town. They can't see what's killing them. They're trapped inside a convenience store, and eventually they make a run for it. And they know that if they're found, there's like 4 of them in a car. And Thomas Jane looks down, and he's got a revolver. And he knows that the best way out is if they kill themselves before the monsters get them. But there's only 3 bullets. So he kills everybody in the car. Spoiler alert. He kills everybody in the car but himself, and then gets out and starts screaming like he's going to fuck them up. Bring it on. I'll fight you, motherfuckers. And then the military comes through. They were saved. But he couldn't see that it was the tanks because of the mist. It messed my brain up so bad to know that he shot a small child in the face, thinking he was saving him from a fate worse than death. And now he has to live with the consequence of that action. God, that's so good, man.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a fucking deep pool. That's a good one.
Yeah. I was going to say...
It really is, like, it's scary-ish because you don't really, like you said, you don't know what's going on out there. It's just some mist. And, like, we've all been in fog and been like, oh, fuck, I don't want to drive my car. Imagine fucking something out in it that will kill you besides other cars, like a living being. Yeah, no, that's a fucking good pool, man.
It's to say, and I don't know, like, I mean, we have a few more go-rounds. How many more Stephen King Joneses we're going to get? I mean, because King, obviously, anything he either wrote or he doesn't direct movies, right?
No, he just sometimes he's on set if they ask him for direction. But yeah, you get It from him,
right?
You get
Cujo, Pet Cemetery.
Carrie,
yeah, and I mean these are all fucking classics, and I mean they're not any of my favorites, but Stephen King, I'm like yeah, let's do that. Let's sit down, let's hunker down, let's scare the shit out of ourselves. Let's see here, I have a couple more. Another one. Yeah. What this is, I mean, it's not a great movie. It just happened to catch me at a right point in time when I was early in my college years, and it just so happened. I don't even know why, man. It's formative. It's not a good movie, but I thought Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses is fucking creepy as shit, especially when she's in that basement with that 7-foot fucking thing, and he's like globbing down cereal. It's like, can you free me? And fucking the captain, all wild, and Christ, Rob Zombie's wife just lurking around screaming. Weird, creepy.
Yeah, that weird. What was his name? Dr. Satan? Was that his name? Was like the guy who actually like had the mask on in the basement and did like he was cutting up the bodies and like experimenting on them, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That was mad creepy from that film. That's a good movie too. I haven't seen that in a while.
Well, in that same vein too, like The Hills Have Eyes, like that. Only because, sadly, there are troops of individuals that live in like the hills of Arizona, like the sides of like plateaus and things. I guarantee those individuals lurk amongst us in some capacity, and that getting caught by that, yeah, that is scary.
Yeah, I think it's like the desert version of like, a fucking some like backwoods, like Appalachia kind of like. There've been films like that as well, with like,
Deliverance.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Exactly. I was trying to think of another one besides Deliverance, but yes, I mean, perfect example. But yeah, like that's totally, again, plausible. Like we said with some other things, like there are some crevices of this fucking country, whether West believes it or not, that could hide a fucking inbred family or a Bigfoot.
They hid this 7-footer in a house of 1,000 corpses. Okay, keep him chained in the basement and fed him fucking Captain Crunch all day. The other one I was gonna, which doesn't sound like a bad life. Maybe get laid every now and then.
Not at all. What else are you gonna do? I mean, if somebody's feeding you Captain Crunch, you're a 7-foot retard. What else could you hope for?
Not. I mean, him and Sloth would have gotten together really well. The other one, the movie in and of itself doesn't encapsulate horror movie. There's one specific scene, and I'll get into it. But fucking M. Night Shyamalan's Signs. And it's the scene where they say like, this is the real deal. And it's a birthday party that's taking place, I believe somewhere in Brazil. And that alien walks out and Joaquin Phoenix freaks out. The entire fucking movie theater that I saw that in White Marsh, everyone in the movie theater was like, whoa, myself included. Whew. Not, like I said, it's more of a specific sign, more of a specific scene, but that was creepy to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Nah, I'm not a big M. Night
Just call me a pussy without calling me a pussy. I get it. Fine.
I'm not going to say it. If it scared Joaquin Phoenix on film, it's good enough for me.
I have E.T. on my list, Wes. I think you're safe.
A Spielberg movie is one of the scariest ones of all time.
A family Spielberg. What's that? PG? Is it even PG?
Yes.
It might be G.
In my defense, check it out. Go to IMDb. Jaws is rated PG. So let's not judge a book by its MAPP rating.
Are there no curse words in Jaws?
Not really.
That's probably where it comes from.
I think
that's probably all it is.
Quint is stabbing Jaws when he's getting bitten in half and calls him a bastard.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's about. Well, I guess when you're being
curse word technically.
What's that?
Is that a cuss word technically?
Not to my knowledge. No.
Yeah, I do, because that's a thing.
Yeah. No, I think there might be more cuss words in Goonies than there is in Jaws, and that might be the only reason. Because I think back in the day, like the censors were just like a bunch of chain smoking assholes who were just like barely paying attention to what was on the screen and just listening for naughty words. And because of that,
they said fuck, and like they were like, and somebody was like, "Oh, breast."
Right.
Gotta raise that up a level.
This is Goonies.
No. Is there a titty in Jaws in the very beginning? No, the first chick who gets eaten, is she naked at all?
Because it's PG.
I don't believe so. If the bikini got ripped off, it's the breasts were shadowed by lake water, and blood, and blood, and
lake water where sharks live.
Yeah,
I know. I was gonna let it go.
Great white,
all that salty lake water.
Great whites that came up to New Jersey.
The open lake.
That's right.
Yeah, just find sharks out there.
And there just so happens to be a Costanza, Richard Dreyfuss like marine biologist in town. Just happens to be looking for a good shark.
There are lake sharks.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. So I got one more for you. Have you guys seen the movie Midsummer? It's very more modern. I think it was 2019. It's Midsommar, if you want to be technical about it, because it's Scandinavian and shit. Did you find it?
I just thought,
Okay, so you guys should check this out. This is one of those. I think this falls under like a Get Out, where it also has some racial undertones where I'm like, this is why I don't go to white festivals and fields in fucking Scandinavia, because it is a Scandinavian pagan like cult festival, basically, that like a young girl and her boyfriend and like their college friends get invited to, that of course turns into eating mushrooms and getting wrapped into some cult shit. But I think the thing about this film that like kind of shocks you up front, and then there's a long burn for kind of the payoff of the film, but I'd recommend it, is like the very beginning is the main female character of the movie comes home, I think, from college to find that her younger sister committed suicide, but in committing suicide also killed her parents in the house by carbon monoxide poisoning. So she comes home and whole family gone. And then she kind of reluctantly takes off to Europe with the boyfriend to kind of like, after they kind of coax her and just say, hey, look, get it out of your mind. Like, try to just get it out of your head. Don't stay here and like wallow in it. You know what I mean? They go and get dragged into this whole cult thing. Ultimately, she realizes it's a cult, kind of figures it out. But slowly they start knocking off a couple of these tourists, and it all culminates in like some big festival at the end where this cult sacrifices nine people. So 4 of them are usually tourists that they bring in. They basically just harvest 4 idiots. And then 4 of them are of the actual cult, like they volunteered to do it. And then they always crown a May Queen at this festival, and the May Queen can pick the final one, the 9th one. And in this film, the ladies coax young Christian into banging a young maiden to impregnate her as a ritual for the cult. The girl catches him, the May Queen catches him, and then decides to put him into the sacrificial group. But they do it in a very gruesome way. I could tell you that he is sewn into the carcass of a bear. And then what they do is they lay all of these bodies that they have. They create this big like triangular tent, and then they light it on fire. Some of them are already dead, but many of them are still alive when they light this on fire. And then the cult dances and sings naked and mimics the screams and wails of the people burning in the thing.
It's the naked, right?
Yeah, there's lots of naked, like lots of nudity.
I was going to say the lead character, young actress named Florence Pugh. She looks like she looks bingable. So
she's bingable. She's 100% bingable.
Yeah, and I want to. I'm going to do a sidebar bing of Midsummer. Man gets sewn into bear. I want to see that. I want to see either.
Here, do me one more. Go ahead and look up Midsummer, like guy strung up in flower bed or something along those lines.
Guy strung in flower bed. Okay, let's see here. Get the images.
It's very specific.
Oh yeah, it's.
I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing the what you're looking at. I mean, it looks pretty. Nah.
I'll find it.
Okay. Buddy. Well, moving on. You tell me, Murr, what else you have? This might be the round robin of all.
All right. Well, I'll give you due, like I've been doing here. I will say there's a special place in my heart for the Saw movies, especially the original Saw, because like that was out of left field. People didn't expect that thing to come, and that was me and my wife's first date, and she laughed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she cackled. I think it was Saw 2 that we went to see, because that was the more elaborate Saw. The first one was just like 2 guys trapped in a room and had to make desperate decisions. The second one was more like there's a whole gaggle of folks and they enter a house and they gotta, like Maria was just like, don't stick your hand in there. They're going to make you cut it off. And then when they did, she said, I can specifically. What's that?
It says, see, she's like me. She's like, see, idiots, don't do that.
I can specifically remember people in the theater gasping while she was classically like shoveling popcorn in her mouth and then laughing, and popcorn particles were flying out of her face. And I just remember kind of like either she gets things that are funny or she is fucking insane. And to this day, 15 years later, I still don't know which.
Figured out. You got to do a, like, hey, babe, remember the first movie we saw in the theaters? Let's watch it again. See what happens.
But those Saw movies, man, they mess my mind up because it does. The one thing that I think is scary about them is they do, like, in the moment, make you think, could I do this? Would it be worth it? Or should I just go ahead? Like, I'm going to be maimed or I'm going to die. And either way, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah, I feel like there was one where the guy, like, he was like Saw 7 or 8, where the skin of his back was glued or sewn to the upholstery of a car, and he couldn't reach the pedals. And in order to stop people from dying, he actually had to, like, push the gas pedal. So he had to rip the skin off of his back in order to. I don't recall which one that was. It was much later on. It was, but, like, a lot less well produced than the original ones. But yeah, some of that shit's freaky. A lot of that.
Oh yeah, and it just makes you wonder, like, psychologically, do I have the ability to go through with this or don't I? And yeah, I think that's where the scary part comes in. Is like, what am I capable of, and am I willing to be capable of it, even if I am physically capable? And my throwaway here will be Gremlins, because as a kid, that's when that came out, and when I can't remember the name of the lead gremlin, but the laugh and the look, and he's pretty psychotic. I can remember him scratching the shit out of some people and leaving, like, claw marks across their face. And then, of course, being young enough to also think that maybe these, like, Mogwais could be real creatures and potentially be living amongst us. And then some irresponsible teenager could come in contact with one and really fuck the world up for a night. That messed me up pretty good. But still, that's probably going to be the first quote-unquote horror movie that I let my kid watch. I was asking Maria the other night, I was like, hey, you think he's ready? Think he's ready for Gremlins? Because that's a good introduction right there.
And plus,
just enough to...
Yeah, you get Phoebe Cates as well. And I mean, she's Phoebe Cates. Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, she's Phoebe Cates, but she ain't in no pool.
She ain't no pool. What do you mean?
Phoebe Cates, the Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, yeah. She ain't coming out of a pool. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Hey, so I found that picture.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I would do the clip. You should watch the clip because it's even more intriguing.
Go ahead and share.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
So that's one of the guys that they find. And so this is apparently a ritualistic, like, Scandinavian Viking thing. It's called a blood eagle. And so, yeah. And, like, this is how he's found by another member of the college group. Can you guys see that?
Oh,
that's the reverse. So to put that in context, guys, the way that this works is they string you up like that, prone position. They crack your ribs off the back of your spine and pull your lungs out to create those wings. You're alive, though.
Huh.
Yeah, so, like, when you watch this scene, like, he finds him and you think he's dead, but you see his lungs inflate.
Yeah, that's good. That does it for me right there. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, Midsummer. Check it out.
That kind of reminds me of the redo of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when he finds his buddy hanging and he can't pick him up off the J hook.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, every time he picks him up, he's like bleeding more, like spit more blood out. All right, so I'll wrap my stuff up. This I'm going to name 3, but I'm going to go over 2 real quick. 1, Halloween, the original Halloween, mainly because obviously Jamie Lee Curtis is a great actress, and she was a baby doll back in the day. But I think in terms of, like, soundtracks, Halloween has the best one. That piano-y thing is synonymous with Michael Myers, and it invokes and inspires. Well, it inspires, but it invokes fear. In my opinion, you hear that? Yeah. So the other one, a little more recent, it's more monstery. A Quiet Place. John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, Murr, I know you ought to see that. You ought to see that and the second one that just came out relatively recently. But my favorite and most scariest movie in my life, Jack Nicholson in The Shining. It's Christ, who the hell made that? I should know it.
Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick. Yes, a young Danny Torrance and the family take over a hotel in Colorado as caretakers for a disastrous winter, and Jack Nicholson is being possessed by, again, this is like the unseen thing, and he becomes a fucking psycho. Oh man, creepy. Saw that when I was a young man with my father. God, a lot of this comes around with my dad, like, hey, yeah, you're going to watch some good stuff. We're going to make you have nightmares, young Wes. But fucking hell, man, when he's having the cocktail with the server and can't figure out, he can't tell fantasy from reality, the twins who scare the shit out of Danny, and then when the mom sees the novel that he's been quote unquote working on, because this is his time to retreat as a writer, and he's going to create the great American novel, and all it is like, something about young Danny, all play, no work,
all work and no play makes Danny a dull boy.
Over and over and over again. She finally figures out, holy shit, he's gone, he's lost it. Ugh. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
The only thing, my only critique about The Shining, and I've had this grudge against it all this time, Jack Nicholson, right? One of the most handsome stars of his day. I just couldn't believe that he was married to that chick.
Well, I
was like, Danny, you could do better, man. What are you doing?
That's a casting thing. That's not.
Yeah,
it's not a.
It is.
Well, anywho, that's my favorite scary movie of all time. So you guys go ahead and round it out if you'd like.
Hey man, that's good for me.
Yeah, I'm done, dude. I obviously I misinterpreted a lot of this. I think I found some diamonds in the rough. I'm trying to see if I left any off. I did write down Jaws. I don't consider that necessarily a horror movie per se.
It's a good bad movie. It's one of your good bad movies.
I don't know, man. Pop Giannis does not get in the ocean because of that fucking film. So you take that for what it's worth.
Oh yeah, but I will say that Jaws does latch on to that classic horror trope of like it's the fear of the unseen. Like the whole thing with Jaws is like the fin. You know it's there. You see, yeah, and just that the intensity of the music, like raising the closer he gets, the closer he is to attack, and yeah, it's kind of a psychological thriller. But it's more of a summer film, which is weird because it's a horror movie and you expect like that, like I said, like I wonder if people in California, and I mean this, if people in California get horror movies the way people on the East Coast do, like the Mid-Atlantic East Coast and Northern East Coast. Because there's something about the dreary, the cold, the wet, the rainy that sets the tone for this kind of stuff. And if you're living in San Diego, like, do you really understand any of this? Like, does the creepy crawlies really get to you? Because they don't experience the seasons like we do.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, now that I think about shows or movies, like, set there, I don't take them as seriously. Like, all right, The Walking Dead. So I watched The Walking Dead up until, I don't know, whenever Negan killed fucking Glenn. Surprise, guys, if you haven't watched The Walking Dead either, you're fucking 10 years too late. But I watched it up until that point, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to switch over to this Fear the Walking Dead. I want to see how this kind of started and spread. And then I watched it a little bit, and they were like, we're in sunny California. Look at this yacht that we've commandeered to save ourselves. And I was like, this doesn't seem realistic. So I get you. That makes perfect sense. I think you got to have horror movies in rainy, like 28 Days Later. Perfect. England. Make horror movies. Good to go. Fucking perfect weather. But
then you get to, like, Scream, and it's more about like a psychopath, like just kind of like wreaking havoc, like on but it's not that supernatural, like like think about like Massachusetts, Salem, the witches, yes, this like it just seems like the further west you go, the less like supernatural, creepy, crawly stuff that you get into? Like, do they understand it like we do?
Yeah. Also, I think there's something to account for. I mean, not obviously that much older, but older part of the world on this side.
Yeah.
On the west side of the country. So, yeah.
Well, I thank you all for participating in this. It's been wonderful. It's been actually last year. I think I was trying to listen to it. All we talked about was Halloween candy. So we're growing up.
Halloween is on movies that made us.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
You'll get a kick out of that. It was apparently only made for $300,000.
Yeah, dude. This season of the movies that made us is top notch. They concentrate more, I believe, on like the movie making process of these films than they do the actual films, which is actually somehow more fascinating.
And Halloween was made for $300,000.
Yeah, it was made for $300,000. Fucking John Carpenter did the music. He made that. He made that himself. They wrote it, directed it. Yeah, for $10,000. That's what he asked for.
Fuck, guy.
Right.
There's usually, I think there's a scene in the first Halloween where Michael was either behind something like around a bush, and you can see a thing of smoke, and John Carpenter was behind the bush smoking a cigarette because he wanted to be around. He wanted to be. I don't know why he wanted to be around Michael Myers for that, but.
Purr, have you watched it yet?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sure you understand.
The guy who played Michael Myers was just some friend of some guys that were working on the movies, and all he says like, "I just want to hang out," and then John Carpenter was like, "Oh, you just want to hang out? You mind wearing this mask and just standing over there?" And so, because Michael Myers has no speaking parts, and his whole role is just to like freak you out psychologically and just be in the scene. Some guy who just wanted to hang out on the movie set just puts the mask on and just stands in the corner.
It probably worked out.
John Carpenter.
It probably worked out. Like he's just like, don't overact this. I don't know how to act at all. Perfect. All right, get in there.
Yeah. I love it. And like, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I love it because like that's the whole series, but like this movie especially, I think is a good one. Is like you really realize how guerrilla these films were made. Like for the most part, most of them, because they're like all young filmmakers at the time, and like they're just trying to get things going. Like the guy who funded him, like found some Arabian dude who was like, "I'll give you some money to make movies. Put my name on the screen," and he gave him like $300. It was like, "Here you go make Halloween, fucking the most legendary movie for Halloween ever created." Like it's insanity, but it's brilliant.
Yeah, you realize that these guys were just assholes like ourselves with the dream in their mind, and they'll do anything to make the dream come true, and then it becomes like a phenomenon. Yeah, like Alan said, like $300,000 to make the movie, and it made like $30 million its first weekend. So, I mean, that's it. And a whole career was built off of that.
A franchise,
multiple. Like all of them became major like film producers and movie directors and shit like that. Also, fun fact for you, Wes. Apparently, it was like the second film in Hollywood to use like Steadicam. They had like $300,000 and they spent like almost $100,000 of it to buy like Panavision fucking Steadicam, like the new state-of-the-art cameras.
Was that because there were so many single camera scenes where you're like?
Well, they wanted to have that view, like you are following that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like right behind you, where you have all of those kind of pans and shit, and to like freak people out, to like put Michael Myers in the background and like just catch him. Yeah, like that was the whole premise. Yeah, mad interesting, and also why you see dudes smoking cigarettes, like. They make mention of it many times that like dudes are literally just like hopping out of windows to get out of scenes because they're like setting them so specifically, and the timing of like them coming around corners and shit, like literally like dudes like hanging out of windows, fucking like crawling under beds, like trying to just stay out of shots, like while they're doing it. It's fucking just fascinating.
Movies that made us. We talked about doing a review on these. I guess I'm the one who's behind the 8 ball on that. So, Anyway, well, that's scaring the booze into you here at the Middle Class Holes.
We need more of it, dude. We need more.
And we appreciate all the submissions, and I hope you all enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy your Halloween. Well, without further ado, closing out Scaring the Booze into You episode here at the Middle Class Holes. Murr, you know what time it is, brother.
That's right, my friends. It's time to get you some factualized information. It is officially time for your Fun Fact Friday, being brought to you, of course, by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Find them on Facebook if you're a pussy and you got some pain below your knee and above your ankle and you want to talk to some like-minded pussies like yourself. The Shin Splints Recovery Group. Find them on Facebook. Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Did you know smart people underestimate themselves while ignorant people think they're brilliant? It's a cognitive bias called the Dunning-Kruger effect, much like the coffee. I'm sorry, it's actually Kruger, like Freddy, where the highly skilled assume that things that they find easy are also easy for others, and the unskilled are so incompetent that they can't recognize their own stupidity.
I didn't know, but now that you explain the psychological phenomenon, it makes a little more sense, because I do think that along with intelligence, there comes a certain era of, and not all super intelligent people, or intelligent people rather, but just for the most, there comes a certain era of anxiety in terms of like performing and appeasing people. Whereas, and this is a great analogy, or maybe it's not even an analogy. I don't know. It's just a saying. Someone said it. I don't know. I'm stupid, but being stupid is like
this
being,
is you're experiencing the Dunning-Kruger effect right now, because I think you're brilliant, Wes.
Being stupid is the same as being dead. When you're dead, you don't know it. The same applies when you're dumb.
Okay, never mind. Go the other way.
Fuck you. How about that? Huh?
I'm
smart, damn it. I'm somebody.
I can tell because you assumed that was easy for everyone to follow.
When you're dumb, it's the same as being stupid. Okay? When you die, you don't know you're dead. The same applies as being dumb. You don't know you're stupid.
I know you misspoke, and it makes it even funnier. When you're dumb, you're stupid.
What? Did I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. When you're stupid, it's got to be your bull. Okay.
Oh, good save, sir. Good save. No, I gotta admit, I didn't even understand that fun fact. I read it and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep reading the words that are on the page.
Smart people think they're stupid. Stupid people think they're smart. Hell yeah.
That's it. There you go. Okay, let's move on quickly. Unless, Alan, you have anything to add to the Dunning-Kruger effect? No? All right. Did you know Mars has blue sunsets? The fine dust in the atmosphere is just the right size for blue light to penetrate more effectively than the light of other colors. I'm knocking them out of the park with these fun facts, man. Shit.
I mean, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that. It makes sense.
I feel like
but
this colony that's going to occupy Mars in the next decade is going to get to see some beautiful blue sunsets, and they're gonna catch wind of this, or
but how does
they're going to catch light of this.
But how? Okay, that's fine that they're explaining it that way. But okay, so why are sunsets here on Earth, like, you know, more of like a pink? You know, they call it like a vanilla sky. So, like, sunsets, but that doesn't have anything to do with dust in the atmosphere, you know.
Why did they explain? Why did they explain that blue? I mean, I was kind of half paying attention. I was actually
that's fine.
I was actually relishing in what I said earlier about how smart I was. What did you? Why did they say that it creates a blue sunset?
Fine dust in the atmosphere is just the right size for blue light to penetrate more effectively than other colors.
Is there not enough dust here in the Earth's atmosphere to create such a thing?
Well, the sky's blue because of the amount of nitrogen in the air. So why is it like, I know it has to do with like light refraction, but like I don't know. To me, it's like, okay, that was a bad fun fact yet again.
No.
I don't know how to comment on it, but it is fascinating.
When you get to use all the good fun facts, and now we're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
No, you know what it is. For some reason, when I was sober, that seemed fascinating to me, and now that I'm there you go. Look at that.
That's cool.
Yeah, okay, fine. Now I feel less bad about it because that is, man, that's haunting.
Yeah, that's fucking creepy.
And for those that can't see it, it's almost like a full moon on like on a fall night. Like it's like that blue.
It looks like an Earth sunset minus like it takes a little bit of the glow out of the sun, but it looks like it just put a gel over it. Like if you're looking at it through a lens, and then they just put a gel over the lens and creates a blue effect. You know, it's still the same.
On like a serious note, it just goes to show you like perspective, like how warped your perspective is just by being like an Earthling. You know, like people think about like what's life going to look like on another planet. You don't fucking know, because something as recognizable as a sunset is drastically different one planet over.
In the most habitable planet that we know. Habitable.
You Krug that Dunning, I think.
I curved the Krug Dunning into orbit.
Okay, here's one I think that's a little better. Did you know wolf spiders purr when they're in love? Many spiders use vibrations to signal each other by shaking their webs, but a courting wolf spider uses its pedipalps to vibrate dead leaves in order to attract a female, creating an audible purring sound that can be heard by humans from at least 3 feet away.
That's the wolf spider's mating call?
Yeah.
I just say, like, last week we learned that male anglerfish are absorbed by females after having sex. Mm-hmm. Now this week we learned that wolf spiders do what kind of, like, crocs do something similar. Do you know, like they shake their backs and shake the water in order to show off how badass and how fucking powerful and strong they are in order to get lure in female crocs to mate. So I guess this is what they do. They get under some leaves and they shake around, they purr, which would be, I would like to hear that, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't because that means a wolf spider is very close by. And I think that everybody, you know, okay, the other day I was walking at work and there was a standard domestic house cat, but he startled me because he was there. And you know what I mean? He made no sound. And that freaked me out a little bit. But there's nothing freakier than like a rattlesnake. You know, something that does make noise, something that is like ballsy enough to like let you know he's there. And there's something about a spider that scares you, but there's something about a spider that lets you know that you're like 3 feet from him that I think freaks me out more than anything else.
There are spider people in the world, though. There are people who are fascinated by them. You're not one of them. That's okay. No knock on you.
I would say I'm fascinated by them solely in the fact that I don't fuck with them at all. So like, I don't know about you. Do you like to know your enemy? Because I do. So fucking that's how I treat spiders. Like I learn about them so that I avoid the fuck out of them. And I know which ones, like, I know which colors are bad, motherfucker. I know how nature works.
You guys
Yellows and red, stay away, sir.
Do you guys believe the old wives' tale about eating so many a year? Like they crawl in your mouth when you're sleeping?
Oh no, that's like a fact, motherfucker. That's not like a old wives' tale. That's like a thing.
It's not a fact.
I'm fairly certain it is.
No, it's not. It's not a thing. Okay, I'm gonna give you one. You might get one, and it might like just you're sitting still in bed, and it crawls in, and then you chomp that son of a bitch. Like it doesn't just crawl down your throat. You just instinctively bite down with your teeth, and he's gone.
I think this is just Murr's comforting measure in order to like desensitize his brain to like what's going on. Like, yeah, one might be in there, and I chomp down on it, and I don't wake up, and I swallow it, and that's it. And I wake up in the morning like nothing happened.
What, you think you swallow 9 spiders a year?
I thought it was 4.
Oh, I thought it was like 9, like in a lifetime.
Okay. Well, our numbers are different here. 9 in a lifetime, 4 in a year, and one. Murr, once. What was yours? 1 a year or 1 a lifetime?
I mean, I wouldn't say a lifetime. I'd say like, I don't know, 1 every like 2 or 3 years.
Okay. So
yeah, I guess that would be 9 in a lifetime. Yeah, that works for me. 9 in a lifetime.
Okay.
I'll take that.
I'll go with your guys' math. That's fine.
So yeah, the spider thing might be, a little bit more bullshit than I thought. As I'm Googling some things here, but I don't think it's impossible, and I hate spiders, so I'm gonna believe it because fuck it.
Yeah, I know. And as far as being unconscious, like I'm okay with the unconscious fear because I don't fear what I don't know. But a spider purring in the leaves 3 feet from me, that drums up a little more fear.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Did you know sand tiger shark embryos eat each other in the womb as a paternity strategy? DNA testing recently revealed that the mystery of baby shark cannibalism is due to embryos from different fathers competing to be born. If there are 2 embryos with the same father, they will eat the others so they can both live, which strengthens their bloodline.
So this first has to conclude that that the female is during mating season is getting it in. She's being impregnated by multiple men, and that
she's hoeing it up.
That's fine. Hey, listen, that's I'm not passing judgment on these sharks, these hoe sharks. Hold up, gals. But yeah, man, that's survival of the fittest to a T. That's like the almost like non-cognitive thought. Like, look, you and me, we're from the same sperm. We need to kill everything up in this motherfucking stomach. Fucking kill everything up in here. That ain't us. All right, you and me. You ready? Tag team.
Blow these guts up, baby.
Fucking
blow these guts.
4 horsemen. Arn Anderson, Ric Flair. Woo! Let's go get them.
And they eat them, huh?
Yeah, embryonic cannibalism.
I like it. I mean, it's smart.
Damn nature.
But
damn nature.
Nature works.
Nature, you scary.
Yeah, but just to think about this, that like, okay, so one shark comes and busts in this blit shark, yo, and then another one comes, does the same, and there's so many eggs that they're fertilized by different sharks, and then inside this it's like a mini bio war, like almost microscopic biological warfare happening inside a uterus.
Yeah, and that's wild. Nothing. Well, maybe I'm being presumptuous here, but the female or the woman that's carrying the female that's carrying these, she doesn't get injured in any way, shape, form, or fashion. A fucking Royal Rumble happening up in there, and she just like, meh, babies are kicking.
They're kicking. They're in there eating fucking Fred's baby because there's 3 of Jesse's, and it's like, oh shit.
I hope Billy makes it.
Fred was a chump anyway.
He's a punk.
Gosh, man,
I just felt bad for him, so I put out.
he's like fucking 25 feet long, man. That's fucking bullshit. We're like 40 feet. It's crazy.
He's always swimming in circles, and just nobody comes up to him. So whatever.
There's a pity fuck. It's a dare.
If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Gosh. Finally,
whether or not they're his or not, I'll tell them they are. Like, yep, these are yours.
And by the way, there's oh man, what's this? There's I don't even know how you categorize this. It's not biological perspective, but like promiscuous creatures, the reason they're promiscuous, the thought is that if they don't know who the father is, all the males will stick around because they don't know if the kid's their son or not. So they'll all raise it and protect it because they want their bloodline to continue, and so they don't want anything to injure it. So like you've got like it's basically it's nature's 3 men and a baby. They don't know who the dad is. They're not going to know who the dad is. So they're all going to raise it the same way.
Yeah, I have heard in certain like monkey or like baboon cultures that being the case. Those are all pretty like incestuous and tight knit too. But yeah, that get it. Like yeah, I don't know. There's no DNA testing center. There's no fucking Maury Povich for the baboon culture. So they're kind of stuck. You just kind of have to hedge your bets.
And finally, did you know? In 2006, scientists found the oldest living creature on the planet, a 507-year-old clam born just 7 years after Columbus arrived in the New World. But they killed it while opening it up to determine its age.
Well,
science, baby.
Damn.
Trust the science, they say. Trust the scientists, they say. And then you get a dead clam a half a century later.
Hopefully they steamed it and ate it.
Yeah, how big is that fucker? That's crazy.
That I don't know, but I agree with Wes. They should have definitely steamed it and ate it, and to see if the older the clam, the sweeter the juice.
Oh God!
way to butcher an old saying.
God, so I want that as a soundbite to just play every now and then.
The older the clam, the sweeter the juice.
The clam, the sweeter the juice.
When you're dumb, you're stupid. All right, and then things don't go your way.
That's called the Freddy Krueger effect. Take that home with you.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
We need so many more drops, bro.
Couldn't help myself with that one. Oh, shit. All right. Well, on
good.
this Scaring the Booze into You extravaganza, Alan, tell the listeners where you can find us.
Oh, our dear listeners, you can find us, as always, on your favorite streaming platforms. For your ear holes, we're going to switch it up this time. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And, of course, on your favorite social medias, we're the Middle Classholes on Facebook. We're at MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. And, of course, our favorite mode of communication, please email us at tickleourtummies@gmail.com. That's right. Tummies, plural. tickleourtummies@gmail.com.
Hey, Mert, did we get any, did Cousin Jeter or something, what the hell's his name? Uncle Stinky? Emails?
They're even better.
Oh, let's see. We've got a couple emails. Let's see. October 14th. How long ago is that?
It's about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Let's see. Apparently you didn't. Okay, well, I'll read this one because apparently you owe somebody something there. First time, long time. Love what you do. Big Sam from the DU football show. Knowing that Alan cannot be bothered to promote our own show, I can't expect him to promote mine. His dumbass was on our show this week to discuss his club, Newcastle's Takeover. Should anyone check it out? It's titled Classholes. Very clever.
Yes.
And we're all on all the podcast platforms. Keep up the great work. P.S. Alan did not promote the Middle Classholes, but it wasn't his best effort.
Well, thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't have my contacts or my glasses in, so I'm having a little issue. Alan did promote the Middle Classholes, but it was not his best effort.
I did after being prompted.
Gotcha.
So,
this is from
guys. I'm a natural. What can I say?
This is from our folks at the DU, the Drunkard United Football Show. So if any of you are English Premier watchers or even passively, check them out. It's entertaining shit. It's informative and good stuff.
Yeah, banter.
And we do have one from regarding last week's episode. It's from Keith. It says, I had to tell you how amazed I was between one of your hosts. Whoa. Go from talking about pushing a cripple out of his wheelchair to trying his civil discourse regarding political views. It was quite a shift. Maybe Alan should call his favorite handicapped congressman and try those tactics on him. So, yeah, we were discussing, what was it, Madison?
Yeah.
Cawthorn.
Cawthorn.
Yeah, and he's apparently wheelchair bound, and Alan quasi threatened him on Twitter and got himself banned. Have you has your ban been relinquished yet?
And let's be clear, I didn't threaten him. I more so wished for harm. Very different. No, well, maybe not very.
Very.
But, not a threat. But, if it were to happen, oh well.
I think you said that.
Also, I'm flexible. I'm a versatile man. I can go from fucking shitting on politicians to talking politics.
I think you said feet on dashes annoy you. Therefore, you wish their tibias would go through their eye sockets.
I also did say that. I stand by that. I stand by it wholeheartedly. Male or female, get your feet off the dash.
Yeah, good point. Well, everyone, it was a pleasure. I hope your All Hallows Eve is enjoyable. I hope those of you who are taking your little children around and escorting your little ones to and fro, that they get cavities up and down their teeth, and you guys are swimming in debt via your doctor's bills.
Pediatric dentistry.
That's right. And of course, as always, if you get caught producing, manufacturing, selling, or purchasing a fake COVID vaccine card, I hope your penis or vagina gets severed into quarters via a horrible bicycle, water boat, or automobile accident.
No, you know what? I will amend my feed on dash statement. If you buy, purchase, produce, fucking market, sell fake vaccination cards, go ahead, keep them feet on the dash. just keep them up. Time will work it out for you. Don't you worry.
I hope don't make any money.
I hope it's a failed business venture. Dick bags. All right, folks. Adios. Have a good one.